I've been gravel riding and mountain biking for the past 2 or 3 years in Japan. Up to that point, I was just doing road rides on a hybrid bike. But now I'm always in search of new off-road places. And over the course of 2 or 3 years, I found that this place, the Kita Renshu in Fujiyoshida, is probably the best place to go off-roading. It's not a proper mountain bike park, but it has so many different roads. I think you could probably string together a 100-kilometer route on these grounds. This is all run by the Self-Defense Forces of Japan. In order to enter there, you have to go to a local office and get a 500 yen pass, which will give you access for 2 months on Sundays and national holidays, which includes Golden Week and the Obon season in August. There's just nothing like it. You can see all kinds of animals in there. I've seen a fox run through the roads. I've seen tons of deer. There's civet cats, these what's called hakubishin. They're all in there. It's great for cycling, motorcyclists, people on picnics, and even older people go out there to forage for mountain vegetables. So, I mean, there's just plentiful nature out here. You can get into some wooded areas. The gravel descents, I mean, they go on forever, it seems, compared to other places. There's only one other place in Japan that I've been with a longer route, which would be in Tokushima, near the town of Kamikatsu. It's called the Tsurugi-san Supalindo, and that stretches for 87.7 kilometers. That's the longest forest road in Japan, and I highly recommend going there. When I went there last year, part of it was washed out due to a typhoon, so you can only cover about 62 kilometers of it. But still, finding that kind of distance in Japan is really a treat. Other places usually get maybe 5, 6, 7 kilometers. Maybe up in Hokkaido, there's longer routes that you can get that are pretty cool. But other than that, I mean, it's really hard to find long distance off-roading like you might get in America, New Zealand, Australia. Finally, I can hear out my ear. Run it out, baby. Yeah.
so many cars out today, man. Usually there's not this many cars.
There are many vantage points from which you can see Lake Yamanaka down below, and I was pretty close to a viewpoint of this. Lots of mist during the day, so I always love those kinds of shots. Today I was on my hardtail and I found that to be so much more fun than my gravel bike. Although I've been on my gravel bike on these routes many times as well, but since I got my hardtail last year, I just find it so much more comfortable to hit those rutted sections, and I can just speed over so many more things and get into ditches without feeling like my tires are going to get all deflected. I might twist up my bike or something like that. It's just so much more enjoyable. I know sometimes there's this argument over which one is the better one to take. I'll tell you what, anytime I hit some off-road, I'll take my hardtail 9 times out of 10 over my gravel bike. Although it is kind of fun to do gravel bike riding, but
There it goes again. Can you hear out my left ear now?
you know, if you have a
Wacky, man.
hardtail and you're going off-road and you don't know what's gonna come at you, I would take the hardtail so many more times over the gravel bike.
So many little side roads. I'd really like to go in there maybe next month. Fuji.
This is a raw photo file using a Nikon D5300 and a Tamron 90mm macro lens. Didn't do any touch-ups. It's as is, ISO 400, shutter speed 1/1000th of a second, f-stop 13.
Okay, final descent. Let's go.
Else I realized on my hardtail, since I can shut out the suspension, sometimes I forget to turn it back on when I'm going downhill, and I don't even realize it until I actually make visual contact with the top of my suspension fork and turn it on. So what I've realized is that like 2.6-inch wide tires is more than enough to deal with most of what I come across on downhills, rutted out roads, ditches and things like that. So I'm wondering if I only need 2.6 wide inch tires as opposed to having that 140 millimeters of travel on that fork. I mean, it's great to have, it's like a safety, feeling of safety, but I don't know if it's necessary.
Let's try the dirt. no road. This looks like where you do rumbles and you get the gangs together. You fight right here. This would be a great place to do a rumble. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we would do. All right, now to get back up this.
I really don't know where else you can get iconic views like this while off-roading on a mountain bike here.
This would be a pretty good place for a rumble. But, you know, I think the other place is better. More out of the way. See, even self-defense forces need signs to tell them where to park. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go! Mach 10. Whoa. Let's see if I coast and I get all the way up. Nice. Another car. Let's bring it down here. The final descent. I just kind of want to see what this looks like. Just a little bit more. It's freaking rocking my shoe. That looks pretty good.